Welcome, YouTubers, content creators, and everyone alike. Welcome to another episode of the Virginia Bushcrafter. As you know, this is the channel where we continue to learn and practice all of the wonderful, marvelous skills of bushcrafting, prepping, and survival for the wilderness. And if this is your first time here, welcome as well. And don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, share this video out, hype it, and subscribe if you have not. So guys, today I'm out here in the very nice warm 61 degrees Northern Virginia, out here in Mother Nature. And as you know, there's always a specified task. And today the task is going to be making a plow point without using a stable tree. What happens if you're in the bush? You need to make a plow point, but you don't have a tree to attach it. That's what we're going to explore today. All right, guys, so these are the 3 logs that I have harvested. I'm going to cut them down, one maybe to 10 feet, the other 2 to 8 feet. And I'm going to do that with a Bako Laplander saw. This is the saw that I will be using today. And again, these are part of what this will be the tripod. Again, as you can see, the length of these are at least 14 feet. I'm going to saw them down, 1 to maybe 10 and 2 to 8. All right guys, here are the 3 poles that I will be making a tripod from. And if you notice, the middle pole is somewhat longer than the right and left pole. So I'm going to be assembling the poles with number 36 bank line. Now I am using the bank line because this is a light bearing weight project. It is not any weight of a person, so bank line is very much sufficient. So I'm going to do a wrap and frap, and I'm going to bring you along with me. Again, here are the 3 poles. All right guys, how I'm going to attach the bank line starting off is going to be with a clove hitch. So let me put you in focus so that you can see this. A simple clove hitch over, around, and underneath the X. Okay, there we have a solid clove hitch. I'm going to go under both poles. Okay, under all 3 poles 3 times. Well, that's twice, that's 3 times. And a frap. That's 1. That's 2. 1 more. That's 3. And to the other side. That's one. That's the second one. Third one. And make sure they are tight and secure. And just finish it off with another clove hitch. Again, with the clove hitch, you make an X. You bring the working end underneath the X, and you have a secure attachment. I'm just going to finish this off with a overhand knot. Okay, so I'm going to stand this up. We're going to take a look at it. All right, guys, so as you can see, this is the framework. We have the center pole, right pole, and the left pole. And the only thing left now is to put the top over it. And of course, now once you complete this, you're definitely going to have to make adjustments. But as you can see, this is the framework for a Plow-Point using a tripod frame. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting the tarp on top, and I'll bring it along with me. All right, guys, I have draped the tarp over the frame, but I'll show you how I did my first attachment. I just took a piece of bank line, put it through the grommet, and ran it over a pole. And I'm going to go to the rear. You can see here. I'm just going to pour this tight, secure it, and do two sides. And we will have a shelter. But there's going to be a bit more to it. But I'm going to go ahead and use 3 tent pegs to show you that it can be done with just 3 poles and 3 tent pegs. All right, guys, once again, coming out into the bush and practicing Mother Nature, there's no better way. So I have made this Plow-Point Tarp Shelter using Mother Nature. Now, why is this good to practice? Because what happens if you are in a location that you cannot attach anything to a tree, but you can use dead standing wood? And that's what I use to make the tripod, and this is the shelter. So here it is. You have a pole from Mother Nature, another pole from Mother Nature, and a center pole. Now sure, the pole takes up space inside, but nevertheless you are covered from 3 directions. Now, one of the great things about this Plow-Point Tarp Shelter is very easy to move. If the wind, this is the direction, this is actually the front. If the wind is coming in towards you, it will be reflected or deflected. But as you can see, I'm going to secure it even more so by staking down the grommets on the side, and I'm going to make more space by pulling this grommet up. So I'm going to do those few things and I'll bring you back and we're going to enjoy this shelter and talk more about it. All right, guys, here is the completed shelter in its raw form. Now, what I have added are the tent pegs all the way around. And if this was a very cold night, so all I have to do is help keep the wind out. I'll do this all the way around. But as you can see, the wind's coming from this direction. I'm sheltered. And again, I can easily move this or turn it into a different direction if necessary. So I'm going to clean this out somewhat and add some interior to this. Great for one person or two. Guys, this is the fun thing about coming out and practicing. Of course, when I put this up, I had to make some adjustments, but nevertheless, it is a configuration that I have. This is the first time that I've made this Plow-Point shelter with a Mother Nature as a tripod. So as you can see, there it is. Hey guys, well, since we have our shelter put up, the next major thing in bushcrafting or spending the night out or what have you is to make a fire. And when making a fire, you have to prep that as well. I've dug a fire pit. I'm getting ready to saw some wood, some logs into manageable sizes with a Baco Laplander. And once I saw those into manageable sizes, I'm going to then split them with an axe or a Kukri. And again, it's all about practice. So I'm just going to saw this one log and bring you along with me. So here we go. This is a saw that cuts on the push and the pull. It is a 7.5 inch blade or 7 with 7.5 or either 7 teeth per inch. And I see I'm going to get some pretty decent kindling off of this. Alright guys, so I'm going to saw what's necessary, then I'll bring you back into the picture. Alright. Hey guys, that was very easy. Granted, a lot of this wood was somewhat split, but one thing about splitting wood, keep in mind a triangle. The wood, the heel of the blade, and the wood against the handle, you have a triangle. And it does take some practicing. Makes it very simple. Again, the heel of the edge and the wood bottom part touching the handle. Hand here, hand here. Grip it. I'll do another one. Again, heel of the blade or the edge attached to the wood, the bottom. Make a triangle. Hold them together. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and split this up. I'll be back with you. I don't know if you saw it that well, but again, heel of the blade next to the wood, make the triangle. Hold them together. Another one. And one more. Again, the triangle. All right, guys, so I'm going to make some very fine kindling using a Condor heavy duty Kukri. This is a 10-inch blade, 9.5 inches of a cutting edge, a convex grind. So I'm going to make some kindling because I want it very small, maybe this size or smaller. So let me put you in focus and we're going to make some kindling. All right, guys, to show you that a large knife can perform small tasks very easily. This is very easy with this wood. And again, I want them very small. I want kindling. This would not be as easy with the axe or a hatchet. As you can see, there's a knot that I will not force it. You always want to try to avoid knots. That's just twisted wood that is not good for your blade. Okay, so you get the gist of it. I want very small strips. All right, so I'm going to continue this and I will be back with you. Again, guys, this is a Condor heavy duty Kukri. All right, I'll see you at the end of this task. All right, guys, what I'm doing now is going to make some feather sticks. Again, just some good practice. Even though it's very sunny here, we know the drill that this wood is still wet. And this is a skill I think that every outdoorsman or bushcrafter should try to perfect as best they can. Or curls, feather sticks. It will make igniting or starting the fire much easier, because the thinner they are, they will burn much quicker or much more efficient. So guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and make quite a few of these. I think I got lucky and found some that are fat wood. We're going to find out. But I'll be back with you as soon as I make. Alright guys, it is now time to practice the firecraft, but also excuse the loud booms in the background. Until the end of March, this is what the enjoyment that a lot of people have at a sight-in range. But again, just like we prepare with a shelter, we make sure that we have something to sleep under, something to sleep in, something to sleep on. And here, we're sleeping under here, under the tarp. I have clothes, something to sleep in. I have a bed roll with a mylar grab a tarp, something to sleep on. So when we know the next is fire, and we need 5 things with the fire. We need something that's combustible, ferrocerium rod, magnesium bar, flint and steel, bow drill, plow drill, hand drill, mattress lighters, something that is combustible. We need tinder. There is tinder there on the fire. Some fat wood shavings. There's some here. We need kindling. There's fuel. And of course, there's air. So those are the 5 components we need to start this fire. Let's give it a go and see if we can get this going rather quickly. Again, I'm going to add all the fat wood shavings that I have. And let's see here. Combustion. Let's see if we can add some more shavings. Almost. And that will make a difference when there is moisture in the air. We're so close. Okay, well, I am going to gather more fat wood. Okay, let's see. We're going to start this on the ground here, the leverage. And there we go. We have it going. And now we need to keep it going. Okay, I think we have it. All right, guys, there we have it. As you can see, fat wood is a very, very good tinder. So I'm going to add the remainder of this fat wood onto the fire, the curls, to keep this going. All right, guys. So I will be back with you shortly, starting to prepare a meal. As the fire is really going now, that is why it is always good to keep extra water and a shovel nearby anytime you are making a campfire in the bush. All right. We'll return shortly. Just gonna let this burn down to some coals and put a meal on the fire. As the fire starts to burn down, the meal that we will be having today is 3-bean vegan chili. And what we will be having with that is cowboy coffee. So I'll return quickly. Well, guys, the food is ready. With some nice Gatorade. Very, very hot, but delicious. They're really enjoying themselves at the range. Got to get down there before the end of this month. I may even have ramen noodles after this. All right, guys, I'm going to finish this and decide if I want the ramen noodles. I'm pretty sure I will. See you in a few. Well, guys, I added some fuel to the coals to cook ramen noodles and get the cowboy coffee going. Well, as you guys can see, the coffee is cooling. Ramen noodles are ready, and the remainder of the wood has been thrown into the fire. And as you can see, when you see a lot of smoke, it's dampness, but it will burn. Yeah, guys, this has been I think a pretty good practice session. Just wanted to take the opportunity to pitch a configuration that I have not done before. This is the first time. Again, it is a Plow-Point with a tripod frame from Mother Nature, and this is good if you want to change your shelter in a different direction. It will easily accommodate 2 people. This is Mylar to reflect the heat. And the good thing about this shelter, one thing that I like about my shelters, I like to be able to have a fire in front of the shelter. If you have an A-frame, you're not going to have a fire in front of your shelter because you're going to be enclosed. With the Adirondack, when you pour the flap over, you can leave the flap up while the fire is burning underneath, but you know, you take a chance of burning your tarp unless you pour the flap back. But with the Plow-Point that is not next to a tree, I mean, I have a nice fire right here. If it was very, very cold, I would not have a problem whatsoever. But I think it's a great shelter. Again, I want to explore all the configurations that I can. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy the ramen noodles. Still very hot. But this is another fun thing, actually. Something as simple as ramen noodles and beans, cooking them over the fire. You know, it's a lot of fun, and you have to be careful not to spill one of your most valuable assets, which is your water. I could use a grill. I prefer not to, because I think this is a learning skill. But anyway, guys, I'm going to have the remainder of the ramen noodles. I'm going to have the coffee with some granola bars. Going to enjoy the Gatorade. I'll see you on the rebound. All right, YouTubers. Well, the meal was fulfilling. The vegan chili beans were fulfilling, along with the ramen noodles, cowboy coffee, and some granola bars. Yes, I'm full. But hey, this has been fun. But again, guys, just get out in the bush and have some fun. I came out here strictly just to put up the to pitch the Plow-Point Tarp Shelter with a tripod right from Mother Nature. And it's going to be something that I'm sure I'll be using next month, because I know this weather, as it is right now, it will not stay this way. But as you can see, my fire is out. But here are the tools that I used today. I used an axe just to practice some splitting and some technique. I used the Kukri just for some splitting. And I used the saw today more than any other tool, just to do a lot of majority of the work. And I used the Condor Terra saw to make feather sticks, and of course a shovel to dig the fire pit. But so guys, these are, now did I really need all of these? No, I could have sufficed with a kukri and a saw, or a saw and a bushcraft knife, or an axe and a saw. So these are just choices. These are the choices that I made today. This is what I wanted to practice with, so that's what I did, and it was a lot of fun. So again, a Marbles bearded axe, Condor heavy, the heavy duty kukri, Baco Laplander, Condor Terra saw, and a good old anvil shovel from Home Depot. All right guys, so I'm gonna clean up, and I'll be back with you. A proper and very efficient way to fold your tarp up. In quarters. With the wind not disturbing you, again, it's fairly easy. Not so easy on a windy day, but nevertheless, it is efficient. And into the stuff bag it goes. This is something that I would suggest you just practice each and every time you are leaving the bush, until it becomes muscle memory. It's very, very easy. Except some a little difficult on windy days, but nevertheless, all right guys, I'm gonna put this in my backpack. I'll be back with you. All right, YouTubers, hey, it's that time time to get out of here. Hey, again, another great day of fun, practicing with tools and enjoying Mother Nature. So guys, again, if you're an outdoorsman, bushcrafter, camper, any opportunity you get to get out in the bush, do so. Thanks for dropping in. I definitely appreciate it. And remember to like, comment, share, hype, and subscribe to the Virginia Bushcrafter. And as always, like father and son, mother and daughter, human and nature, we are all akin in some form or fashion. Just get out in the bush and have some fun. See you on the next adventure.